Hello guys, Zach here with a deathmatch game, and I thought I'd do this one because something pretty cool happened today. The two titans of deathmatch decided to play each other, and you may or may not know who Major Enigma is. Enigma is actually Jidba, and Jidba is well known to be one of the best deathmatch players of all time. Until last week, that was, when his top spot was claimed by Christian down here, or Christ I should say, Christ down here, who is playing as Canadian Boss, and it's pretty much a battle between the titans right now, as these guys are pretty much fighting out for number one, similar to the Chris versus, not Chris versus Doubt, well, Chris versus Doubt and the Jordan versus Doubt series. These guys are doing exactly the same with the Deathmatch World, only this is a best of three between Christ down here and Jidba up to the top in red. Jidba playing as Huns, Christ as Huns as well. Unfortunately, it will be a Hun war, but it's still pretty good to watch because this is the very top of the top deathmatch at the moment, and this is only a best of three, so I will bring you the games from this series. And both these guys playing as Huns, as I just said, and they both did the market as well, but Jidba got his market up first, so it looks like he will have more gold. Looking at his gold now, 8,900. Chris is on 5,500, just gone down to 4,700. So Chris has got less gold at this stage because obviously Jidba used the market. He sold off some of his stone by the looks of things, and a little bit of food and a little bit of wood also. Not too much though, not enough that that he has such an advantage that Christian or Christ here couldn't sell off some at his own market. Neither of these guys getting extremely aggressive early on, which is interesting to see. And Jidba, of course, known, if you don't know, for being a master of economy. His economy is absolutely great. The problem is he's been away for a very long while, and I think this is one of his very first games since coming back to the game just today. So he's not had any practice or anything. He's fresh from his break. I don't know how long he's going to be back for. We'll just have to wait and see. And Jidba launching out with the first attack. Let's see how this one ends up. It could be a very fast game if Jidba just, executes his opponent very quickly. Though I doubt that's going to happen because Christ is now actually at the very top. So it is going to really be a battle of the titans here. And it is going to be just a matter of time until we see who is the victor. Really nicely done here. Slipping his cavalry archer past. Jidba is going to try and harass or stop Christ's economy from getting too strong. I also want to point out that Christ / Christian is not Chris, though they are both from Canada. So I thought I'd point that one out. And it looks like Christ is actually going to push forwards in the middle and win this one in the center. It looks like Jidba is going to have to retreat, otherwise it's going to take too many losses right here. Christ doing a really great job of massing his army up early on. 130 population to only 117, so he has got that small army advantage at the moment. If he can use it now and keep pushing forwards, then Jidba is going to be forced to retreat. He did, of course, lose quite a few cavalry archer right here, and he didn't really stop Chris's eco. But Jidba building on this hill right here to protect this gold at the back and protect this gold at the front, of course. Siege workshop going up and a trebuchet coming out to quickly deal with these castles that Chris is putting up. Christ even is putting up. Man, I'm so used to saying Chris. It's not Chris, it's Christ. That Christ is putting up to protect his gold, of course. Castles used very much to protect your eco, and at the front Christ forced back as Jidba is putting up a pretty good defense right here, but he has got plenty of men in reserves. This is the early game where resources are aplenty. And a third castle going up on this hill. It looks like Jidba is getting very defensive over this area. Of course, he wants to keep this gold safe as it's all in one single location. And if he can take these castles out from Christ, then he is going to be able to harass this gold very easily as well, and prevent him from gathering gold. In deathmatch, gold is really, really important. It's very crucial that you get as much gold as you possibly can, as fast as you can, especially in 1v1, as there's no way to trade unless you trade with your enemy, which is not going to work, unfortunately. And Jidba just continues to build castles on the outskirts of his town as well as town centres to continue maxing out his villager production. If we look, all of his town centres absolutely maxed out right now, apart from this one, which is probably going to be maxed out pretty soon. And siege rams moving out as well. Siege rams, of course, used to tank the damage from the heavy cavalry archers. They take a long time to go down. 270 arrows means that they can tank a lot of damage if there's a few of them, which means that the cavalry archers can actually attack the other cavalry archers that are attacking the rams. Pretty nice stuff. Managing to take out both of these castles on the right hand side and moving the rams in to take out this town center from Christ. This is not good at all. Christ is going to lose this gold, but his main gold is being fully saturated right now as they both kind of just rally around in the middle waiting for a good opportunity to attack. But it looks like Jidba's going to come in from the side and attack from multiple angles, which is always good in deathmatch. It's great to catch your opponent off guard with a few paladins. It's amazing how much just 10 paladins can do to someone's eco, and Jidba of course with pretty good scouting at the moment. We can't see his scouting unfortunately because of course deathmatch is played on explored, so we can't just click fog of war and magically see unless I fix all of the recordings individually, which takes too damn long. Jidba really getting some map control here as well. He's sending out some paladins just to scout around and see what he can find. Another castle going up on the side of Christ's economy to protect this gold here. He could have moved this town centre a bit closer, but he hasn't done. Another town centre on this gold, of course, right here. And really nice. Jidba coming in at the back, taking out a few more villagers and continuing to harass his economy, while at his main base he is just getting his men together and getting up to the population limit. If you can mash your army up together, that would be helpful, as Christ is looking to come around from the side, bringing in some trebuchets as well. He could be looking to try and take out these castles, but he's going to have a tough time as these are obviously on the hill, and that hill advantage there will mean that these trebuchets take quite a few more hits to get these castles down. So I don't think Christ is going to be so successful here, though Jidba is losing quite a few heavy cavalry archers. In come the paladins, and Jidba's attention is purely on this area right now. Although saying that, is it? Because over at his eco, he is trying to harass, but Christ is doing a really good job of holding him off with some halberdier as well. Both these guys attacking pretty much in the same place with the same units right now. Really well read the game, and with these three castles providing covering fire, it looks like Jidba is going to beat Chris in this little scuffle right here. Christ is probably going to be forced back. I'm really sorry if I keep saying Chris. It's not Chris, it's Christ. He is going to be forced back, and Jidba can give chase, but of course Christ can quickly recoup his army up. He's got plenty of military production around his base, and they are going to be maxed out, I imagine, producing units at the moment, as his economy has been harassed quite a lot over this side. It's lacking massively, and Jidba's gold is very well saturated at the back. He's not really got many farms yet though, as we'll have a look how much food and wood he's got. He's got plenty of food, a little bit of wood at the moment, but he's going to have to start farming and gathering wood once he's got plenty of gold in. And Christ on the other hand, with not much food but a lot of wood, which means he can of course continue to make a lot of cavalry archers, though he's not actually queuing so many up right now. A few of his archery ranges are idle, and of course it's important to remember that to continue military production, you can't stop producing military units. It's so important. Patrolling some halberdier around to protect his base. His gold is also very saturated, plenty of stone as well to get some more castles. Jidba coming in from the side once again, but these guys focusing on this area right here. They are going to focus this area down. Jidba knows he's kind of got an advantage in this area. Another army coming in, paladins and of course heavy cavalry archer, just going to push through, and if he can break down Christ in this area here, he's going to be in a great situation as he can just continue to swoop along his base. But Christ does have a fairly decent eco on this side, though that is starting to be harassed as well, and Christ is actually got pretty much all of this gold on lockdown. There's only one gold pile left, and that's over here, and I don't know if Jidba's going to be able to get there in time, but he is pushing Christ back. He's definitely got the score lead right now, and he's starting to take out Christ's buildings very quickly indeed. This trebuchet providing a little bit more fire to take down these barracks, and moving on in. Looks like he's going to be able to take out these town centres from Christ, so Christ's initial attempt at building economy on this backside is not going to work out for him. He could lose these town centres very quickly indeed, and he is going to continue to push forwards on this right hand side. Christ is trying to do a little bit of harassment to Jidba's eco, but I don't know if that's going to be so successful with just 2 Tarkans, and he's only managed to gather 1 relic so far, I've just noticed. Relics of course extremely important, as it does give that extra gold if the game does end up being a very long one. And now these guys continuing just to have a bit of a scuffle, getting the rams involved there to tank some of the damage, bringing in some more of course, as Jidba starts to gut Christ's base. This is really great from him, really pushing very strong on this right hand side, but Christ is doing some harassment of his own, getting in there, picking off some villagers. Really nicely done. Going to use his Tarkans here just to continue to raid. They are indeed supposed to be a raiding unit, and Jidba continuing to keep the pressure on this right hand side. His eco is going to be struggling pretty soon though, as he is running out of gold piles indeed. This one's actually gone now, and this one is on its last 60 gold. He's going to have to move forward, but this is nice because he's already secured this gold from Christ here, so he's preventing Christ from getting gold in this location, which means he of course can. And this was nice, a nice raid from Christ there, getting a lot of villagers, and Jidba is still moving forwards on this right hand side, taking out these town centres. It's only a matter of time, I think, until Christ goes for this gold here. He's got these rams patrolling, so he knows exactly if Jidba is going to head out there or not, and I think it is only a matter of time now until he does go over there and take that gold. Sowing a lot of farms now. He's going to want a lot more food than he has got. If we have a look, he's very low on food and wood, very low on gold even as well, and now is the time to preserve your army and make the most of it. Jidba coming forward with another castle yet again to protect this gold right here, and it looks like Christ is going to move out indeed to go and take this gold over on the left hand side. Another castle going up for a bit of defense and early warning system. That is indeed what it is for. Looking at Jidba's economy, he's got quite a lot of gold right now. That's 4,000 gold for Jidba and only 1,300 for Christ. Population wise, Jidba is in the lead just, so it looks like this game is slowly turning in Jidba's favour. It could still go either way though, as Christ's economy is going to start to get very good very soon. He is of course going to be able to sow a lot of farms very quickly and keep that food and wood income high, so we can always spam halberdier, but he's got to be careful of the heavy cavalry archers of course. Looking at the economies of these guys, they are really getting low on wood and food right now, but Jidba is ahead with economy. I would have to say 400 food only, but a lot of wood, so he can continue to make cavalry archers, which is going to be handy for him. Another relic coming in, that's 2 for him right now, which is always useful, and actually not creating any military at all at the moment. It's really important to remember to keep queuing your military up, but he does have 0 food at the moment pretty much, and now things start to slow down while the economy takes a while to kick in. Creating a few Tarkans over on the left just to keep him safe from any raids, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Really nice move from Christ here, putting his cavalry archers into a little corner to pick off these paladins. That is going to work very nicely for him, and Jidba pushing forwards once again, probably going to bring some more rams in. Yeah, indeed he is, and he will be able to push forward and start taking out a lot of Christ's space here, as Christ really doesn't have that many military units whatsoever. Looking at the military tab, there we go. Quite a lot of military actually still, 50, 30 and 12, and Canadian boss, which is Christ of course, with a considerably less, just looking at the numbers straight off. So Christ is not got a lot of military right now, and Jidba can use this to his advantage of course. He can start to push forwards, bring in the rams, start taking out these military production buildings. Of course, once you lose your military production buildings, you're going to have to rebuild them, which does take time and catches you off guard, means that you have to relocate where all of your military is coming from, which is a little bit of an inconvenience, so that he doesn't want that to happen. But a lot of paladins surrounding these archery ranges now, and he's of course taken out most of Christ's eco on the right hand side. Jidba does have the score lead also, and look at that, just ridiculous patrolling of those heavy cavalry archers. Does make me laugh. It's like they're powering up or something. I love it when they patrol that closely, it's great. And he is just picking Christ away right here. Christ is going to have to do something about this, or he is going to lose everything, and once he's lost everything, what can he do? Well, he hasn't got a lot of population at all right now. He's stopped producing anything from these buildings, and he's starting to get a bit more defensive with walling and stuff, but that's not really worked out very well for him, and it looks like Jidba will probably end up taking this game. Christ really has nothing left to build with, and looking at Jidba's economy, wow, he can continue to pump out heavy cavalry archers all day long. Look at that, almost 5k gold right there. A lot of stone as well, so he can continue to build castles on a forward position, and attacking from multiple angles. Going to take out this castle on the side. This is really nice. Going to be able to take out this castle, come in and raid this eco. It's really not looking good for Christ right now, I've got to say. And Jidba doesn't even seem to have many farms compared to Christ, but he just has so much more resource, I've got to say. He can continue to make units for as long as he seems to need. He's not switched to any trash units yet. He's just continuing to power forwards. And looking at the populations again, 165 to 160, so it is still fairly close. But this raid on the left-hand side could be really awkward for Christ to deal with. If he takes out this castle as well, then paladins can just come in here and finish up any of these villages. Of course, you know, castles aren't that useful when you've got a lot of paladins that can just run in, but they do give it a sort of early warning system. And Jidba is just kind of cleaning up right now. He's got a lot of units that he can continue to bring in, and he can continue to just bring in more and more rams, as Christ really doesn't have that much left. Yeah, a few heavy cavalry archers isn't enough to kill off the rams, bringing in some trebs, bringing in some paladins at long last. But Jidba has got the map coverage now, and he is going to continue to push out. I don't know, it could still go either way, though Jidba is looking to be in the lead. His score is saying that as well. We'll just have to wait and see. He's going to have to bring in some more siege, it does seem, making a trebuchet right there, and a couple of rams as well. It's going to be a while until he can actually break through this, though, as he concentrates on building up his economy once again. Now we can see a lot more farms coming out and a lot more wood as well. You've got to bear in mind that Jidba actually hasn't played for quite a while. I didn't realise he was massing units over here as well to bring in another attack in this location, it seems. This castle is really low on HP right now. He's just repairing that up, but it's only a matter of time. In comes Jidba once again. Looks like he's got the numbers he needs on this right hand side just to push forwards and finish Christ off. It could still be Christ's win, but that is a lot of heavy cavalry archers there. The paladins are going to come in and finish things up as well, and Jidba just needs to take out these buildings and push through. It doesn't look like Christ is going to have enough resource to actually replenish his army fast enough. He's only got 380 gold. Jidba though has got over 3k of every resource apart from stone, which he's only got 2k off, but that's still a hell of a lot. He can continue to pump out units for as long as he needs, starting to come down on the left hand side as well, just to attack and hit his economy as hard as he can. But this is really not looking good for Christ now. It looks like Christ could take this game, starting to get out some hussars to continue to harass the economy of Jidba, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He doesn't seem to have enough food to sustain that, I don't think. Oh no, he's got quite a lot of food right now. He could make a lot of hussars, but in comes Jidba once again, taking out town centres, taking out castles, taking out everything he needs to get a victory right here, and just going to continue to push forwards. Jidba's looking very strong, I've got to say, at this stage. Going to take out this town centre for sure, though it's not going to be so much of a problem. Christ could do with a few more mills around, so his villagers don't have to walk so far. That would be useful. And building archery ranges and barracks at the back, having to rebuild his military production. As I said, a little bit awkward, but not too much of a problem. Jidba finding exactly where Christ was hiding his stables, and these hussars are no longer going to be able to raid, it looks like. Coming in again with some more halberdier, of course, can absolutely own these paladins and continue to kill off the villagers. In come the cavalry archer to deal with a couple of these halberdier, but while that's happening, he can of course continue to push on the right, but he's retreating for some strange reason. I don't know why he's doing that, but perhaps he wants to protect his eco a little bit more. I don't know how long this game is, but it looks like it could be a long one. There's no telling at this stage. In comes Christ again. Now he's switched to skirmishers and halberdier. It's not so great because, of course, he's going to have a hard time dealing with paladins if he's just got skirmishers, and dealing with cavalry archers is always a bit awkward if you've only got halberdier. So these guys are still both maxed out on population, although saying that actually no, Jidba isn't maxed out. He's not queuing that many units, it seems. Just a few paladins and heavy cavalry archer. He needs to keep queuing, as he will need to continue his military production if he's going to take big losses. Starting to take out more and more castles. This castle at the front from Christ now going down. I don't think Christ is going to have enough, he's not got enough stone for another castle. Walling this area over here just to keep his eco safe. The map coverage by these guys is just insane. They cover the map so quickly, but I think it's only a matter of time now until Christ gets whittled away. He's coming in again from another side. Jidba going to try and take out more of Chris's defences, and once these castles go down, Christ is not going to be able to defend at all, and Jidba is just going to be able to walk on in and kill him off. These skirmishers not going to be much of a match for the paladins, of course. They are probably going to move in very shortly and finish things up. There we go, paladins coming in right now, and say bye bye to your skirmishers. moving forwards once again with the trebuchets, just a battle line, just slowly advancing, and Jidba trying to take out Castles of Christ again. You may not be successful in this case, as he's only got one ram on there, and he could do with his rams on here really, rather than on the stables. We're continuing to push on this front as well, as, oh, that's nice, a little bit of harassment again from Christ, but not enough I don't think. Finally clearing up these rams over on the left hand side as Jidba continues to push forwards, and I don't know why Christ's army is gone. He's got no army left. This is not looking good. There's just too many men in his base right now, and looking at population, it's just going to start plummeting as villagers get slaughtered. There really is not a lot that Christ can do in this sense right here. 169 to 170, still pretty neck and neck for population, but Christ really doesn't have much eco. He could continue to spam halberdier and what are they called? Skirmishers, that's it, for a long while, but I don't know how long he can keep that up against gold units, because looking at the gold, yeah, Jidba is actually starting to run out. That's a shocker, but he does have a lot more gold units on the map right now, so he can continue to keep this harassment going, kill off a lot more villagers than he is doing already, and just clearing up, it seems. I don't know how long Christ can hold on for here. Maybe able to mass up a lot of halberdier, but I don't know, it's going to be a real tough one for him as Jidba moves forwards with more trebuchets, starts to take out even more of these castles, and now it's just a case of rush, keep it going, keep the pressure on, take out all the castles and take out his relics as well. That would be useful for him to do. Paladins absolutely owning these skirmishes, of course, and these buildings just getting whittled away by the trebuchets on the hill, and there is very little that Christ can do right now. The score says it all, as Jidba is going to take this game, I'm sure. It's only a matter of time, I imagine, before Christ resigns. I'm just going to keep things on fast until he finishes up. There we go, GG from him, and a good game overall. And wow, Jidba's just, yeah, he's back, and I don't know how long he's back for, but he's definitely come back with a little bit of a punch, I suppose. This is game 1 of 3. I will probably bring you the other 2 games over the course of the next week. I won't do them consistently though, as I know you guys want to see RM and not just DM, so I will make sure it's broken up and not just the next 3 games of Deathmatch. But hopefully you've enjoyed this game anyway. Nice return from Jidba, winning this one after having quite a long break actually. I don't know how long he's been away for, but something about 6 months, and knocking Christ off the top in this game. But there's still 2 more games to be played before the winner can be determined, so let's just wait and see. So as usual guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Zach, and I will see you next time.